Today I am going to present a seminar on science of Bhagavad Gita. And why I have kept this topic, because although people presume that Gita is a religious book, a Hinduism book, but it's not like that. Anybody who has read this book, he can instantly come to conclusion it's science. And I'm going to show you today how Bhagavad Gita is science, and how the concepts of science or seeds of science are there in Bhagavad Gita. It's not superstition, it's not mythology. It is systematic study of basic concepts of life. So, is it working? How do you get that?
Yeah,
Next slide. Okay, can you just do that? So, who has not praised Bhagavad Gita? Not only saints have praised Bhagavad Gita, but politicians. Mahatma Gandhi, he praised Bhagavad Gita, and he said, when I'm disappointed, then I turn to Bhagavad Gita. So, not only Mahatma Gandhi, from Mahatma Gandhi, he was a leader in India, to Aldous Huxley, he was a human pacifist and a writer. He praised Bhagavad Gita. He said Bhagavad Gita is the most systematic statement of spiritual evolution and doing value to mankind. Now, these people are not Indians, that they are biased, that they have a cultural bias or a religious bias. They are not stupid people. They are well educated and intelligent, much above average. And he said, most systematic statement of spiritual evolution. Henry David Thoreau, he was a philosopher. He said, in morning I bathe my intellect in stupendous philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Now, people who know Henry David Thoreau, they can. He was a famous philosopher, author, and a poet. And William von Humboldt, he's a Prussian philosopher. He praised Bhagavad Gita as the most beautiful, perhaps the only true philosophical song. Point is the word philosophical song. He never said religious song. Now, these people read Bhagavad Gita and they found there is nothing religious in this book. Religious in the sense of sectarian. There's nothing there in this book. Otherwise, they would not have made such kind of statements. Existing in any known tongue, perhaps the deepest and loftiest thing the world has to show. Scientists, physicians, they have praised Bhagavad Gita. Albert Schweitzer, he praised Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has a profound influence of spirit of mankind by its devotion to God, which is manifested by action. And Hermann Hesse, he was a German Swiss poet and novelist. He said, the marvel of Bhagavad Gita is truly revelation of life's wisdom, which enables philosophy to blossom into religion. Now, he uses this word life's wisdom. Mark these words. And the point is, whole point of Bhagavad Gita is, it's an instructional manual for life. For life. That you have to keep in mind, because there's a difference between Bhagavad Gita and science, academic science. Now, science is science tries to understand what is this word all about. Science tries to understand what is life, origin of life, what is the nature of life. But Bhagavad Gita makes you understand how to manage life. Okay, science tells you what is life. Bhagavad Gita tells you what to do with this life. Now, these are two different dimensions of human life. So science cannot answer this question, what to do with the life. You cannot expect science to answer this question. It can tell you, okay, life is composed of molecules or proteins or whatever. Or maybe not. Maybe life is a vital force separate from molecules. Whatever debate is going on, it's going on. But science cannot tell you what to do with this life. If you could have then there are many scientists. They also get stressed up. They don't have any idea how to lead life. That science cannot tell. That is ethics. That's a part of philosophy. And because scientists could not figure out what to do with ethics, they gave this subject to philosophy. Okay, this is for you. You figure out. Or maybe religion. You tell us what to do. So science can give you gadgets for life, but it cannot tell you what to do with those gadgets. Science can give you this hall, these tube lights, projector, but what to do with this, that you have to decide. You can do bad things, you can do good things. So there's no quantification in science to help you understand. No law, nothing's in science, chemistry, physics, maths, bio to tell you what to do. So Bhagavad Gita helps us to understand what to do with this life, how to use this life in a best possible way, how to guide this life to a purpose-oriented action. And that is why Bhagavad Gita is instruction manual for life. This is important. If you don't have this instruction manual, you can understand what is life, but you don't know what to do with this life, and then you do whatever you want, and then you end up in frustration, stress, and all kinds of problems, and then there is no solution for that if it goes really bad. So, what is human life? Now, to lead human life, we need four things. Now, we need body, of course, we need body, and we need mind, we need intelligence and consciousness or soul. So these four are important. Without body, there's no meaning of human. You're not there. Without mind, there's no meaning to life. Without intelligence, you're like an animal. And without consciousness, there's no life at all. You're dead. So to lead human life, you need these four things, four components. And Bhagavad Gita helps you to understand how to manage these four things properly, what to do with these four things. That Bhagavad Gita helps you to understand. But here's a verse, Gita chapter 3, 42 verse, and Gita says, the working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than senses, intelligence still higher, and consciousness is still higher than intelligence. Now what does this verse means? This verse is helping us to understand a hierarchy in our body. Now we have these four things, but these four things are not at equal level. Just like these chairs, one is down, then up, then up, then up. So mind is superior to senses. Now why? Because, so what is body? Body is made of senses. No? Eyes, ears, nose. These are senses by which we acquire knowledge. And then there's a mind. So through eyes, information goes to mind. Now, mind is superior to senses. Why? Because mind can think. There are thoughts in mind, and according to those thoughts, we use these senses. Mind directs the senses in a particular way. So you have a thought, okay, fine, I should go to McDonald's and eat a burger. So mind can direct your legs, okay, move, go. When you sit on chair, then mind can direct your mouth, open your mouth, put that burger in your mouth. So mind is higher than senses. Mind can control the senses, direct the senses. And then even higher than mind is intelligence. Intelligence can discriminate. Mind cannot discriminate. Mind can tell you, okay, this is burger, you have to eat it. Or not eat it. But then who decides? Should I eat or not? That is a function of intelligence. Intelligence gives you the power to discriminate. Should I eat? Should I not eat? And it is giving a decision. Mind is random thoughts. Intelligence is decision for these thoughts. So intelligence is higher than mind, no? So kids can think, children think, random thoughts. I should go there, go there, go there. But parents give decision. You should not do this, you should not do this. So who is higher? Parents are higher. Children have to remain in authority of parents. So that is why intelligence is higher than mind. And even higher than intelligence is consciousness. Consciousness, by consciousness here I don't mean awakefulness. By consciousness we mean experience. That's the usual understanding of consciousness, even in science, even psychology, neurology. Consciousness means experience. Now, I'm experiencing you all. I'm seeing you. And in seeing you, I'm having an experience inside me. You are seeing me and you are having experience. Each person is having different experience of me according to their past experiences. So if in past, for example, you might have attended such a seminar and you might have liked it, so now your experience is much more focused. If in past you didn't like this seminar, such kind of seminars, and you are forced to come in and you're sitting, so your experience is not that good. Your experience is, my God, I'm stuck up here, or whatever experience you have. So what is experience? Experience of intelligence, mind and body. There are thoughts and mind, there is a decision by intelligence, and there is action in senses, and consciousness is experiencing all these things, okay, and recording it. So based on those experiences, intelligence decides. How does intelligence decide whether I should eat a burger or not? Based on previous experience. Maybe previously you ate a burger and you got a headache, or loose motions, or diarrhea. And a burger comes and intelligence says, okay, well, we should eat it. So your experience says, no, you got a diarrhea. It was a bad experience. It was an unhappy experience. So don't eat it. You see? So experience is higher than decision. So that is why Krishna gives a hierarchy. Body, senses, above senses is mind, above mind which thinks, above mind is intelligence which gives decision, and above intelligence is your experience based on what you decide. And this is important to understand, because by this framework, now we can proceed to understand how to manage a life. Without this understanding, we will not be able to manage a life properly. So, what does Gita has to give instructions on various levels? On the level of body, level of mind, intelligence and soul. What does Gita has to tell us? Okay, what is instructional manual for body? This will be instruction manual for this keyboard, It doesn't work. There has to be something. What is this? It's not working. Sometimes things go out of order. Even with instruction manual. So, anyway, so what is the instruction for body? How do we lead our bodies in a way so that we are healthy at the level of body, and we don't get diseased, and we don't mess up our bodies in such a way that it becomes irreparable or incurable. So how do we do that?
I think it is slow.
Okay. So instructional manual for body. This is a beautiful verse. Now I like we focus on this verse. It's a beautiful verse, and it's Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 17th verse, 6.17. In the last, at the end of the slide. Let me show you here. 6:17. This is a verse, Sanskrit verse, and this is English. So Krishna says, he who is balanced in his habits of eating, sleeping and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So a note here, 2 points, or maybe 3 points. First is, how should we act in such a way at the level of body so that we don't have any sufferings? What to do? What's the sutra for that? What's the quote for that? Now there are many books in this society for good health, perfect health. There's so many things around, and mostly they are focusing on food, or maybe modern medicine. Modern medicine mostly says multivitamins, proteins, or whatever, exercises. But Gita has a different understanding. And Gita tells you, you have to balance your eating, sleeping and work. Person who is not balanced, his life will become imbalanced. He will become unhealthy. You might eat cautiously, but if you're not sleeping properly, and if you're overworking, or which is called as attehar, work more than required, then you end up in disease and sufferings. It's a beautiful verse. In fact, if you read Ayurveda, there are two books of Ayurveda, Charak and Shishrut. Charak is medicine, Shishrut is surgery. If you read Charak, this is what Ayurveda has to say, this particular verse. Ayurveda is all about balance. Balance of sleep, work and eating. It's not just eating is one thing, sleeping is one thing, and your work is one thing. No, they are not different. They are all balanced. They are part of your life, and you have to balance them. Now, what do you mean by balance? Balance means balance according to time. You should know what time to eat, what time to sleep, and also balance according to quantity, how much to eat, how much to sleep, and balance according to quality. What quality of food you should have, what quality of sleep you can have, good sleep, bad sleep, all these things. All these principles are there in Ayurveda and even in Bhagavad Gita 16, 17 chapter. So if you sleep at wrong times, you can sleep for more hours, but you will have bad sleep. You will not be fresh. But if you sleep at a particular time, there's a time in Ayurveda. A body is tuned with time. There's time in a body. This modern medicine do not understand. But some understanding is there, because you see, so I was talking to a doctor and we were discussing about time. So all of us know that as the sun goes down, corticosteroids level go down in our body, and corticosteroids are responsible for metabolism in our body. They go down, and so a body is naturally trying to rest at that time, not being active. So night, there is a particular time when you should sleep. If you don't sleep, naturally body is going to rest, but at the same time you are trying to be active, you are going against nature. So that's why Gita says balance all the three. And in fact, this is the only verse I found in entire Vedic scriptures which can help you to understand what is about Ayurveda. If you read Ayurveda without this verse, you will not understand any damn thing. No Ayurvedic doctor has understanding of balance of eating, sleeping and work. They read, but they don't put it to practice. It's right there in the book. But mostly people are in medicines. Mostly people focus on cure, not on prevention. Krishna is talking about prevention at the level of body. In allopathic medicine, we absolutely don't talk about prevention. There is no prevention. There is a subject, social and preventive medicine, SPM, which we used to read. But that is just you read and forget, that's all. Nobody focuses on that. Focus on the medicine, surgery, and all these cure aspects. No prevention. No doctor. If you go to doctor, they will not tell you what to eat, what not to eat. You eat anything and get sick and come to us and have medicines. That's all. Nobody will advise you. Nobody will give you proper advice. Otherwise, they lose patients. That's what goes in practical world. Now, this is instructional manual for body. Keep this in mind and try to balance your eating, sleeping and work. And if you want details of this verse, go to 15th and 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 16th and 17th. Read those chapters and you will have details. What do you mean by balanced eating? What do you mean by balanced sleeping? What do you mean by balanced work? This is a good manual. Gita is a manual at the level of body. Okay, what about instructional manual for mind? And it has to go. So what to do with this mind? Now, as far as science is concerned, science is still trying to understand the nature of mind. There are debates, dualism, monism, epiphenomenalism, materialism. There are many debates. And there is even debate, mind exists or not. That's another debate. But that's a foolish debate, because you can't debate about mind without existence of mind. I don't know how people come to that conclusion, but there is a philosophy out there. So there is a big debate in biology about nature of mind, but Gita says, why do you want to discuss about nature of mind? Try to control mind. Do not try to understand mind. You can understand mind, but before that, control it. Mind is puzzling, you can't see it. But at the same time, mind is an evident reality. It is there. It is there in all of us. So Krishna says, and we all know mind is having speed of wind. Think something, then another thing, then another thing. It is not in our control. So on pragmatic and practical basis, Krishna says, first control it. Try to understand. Understanding, you can do that. All those things. Control it, because if you don't control mind, you will be controlled by mind. That's a problem. That's a problem. Your mind will dictate you what to do. So you might say, what's the problem with that? But the problem is, mind is a friend of conditioned soul and is enemy as well. An untrained mind is enemy. And a trained mind is friend. So, mind, Krishna says, one must deliver himself with help of his mind. We have to train mind with spiritual practices. That's what is spirituality all about. That's what is religion all about in true sense. Religion is not all about sectarianism. Hindu is fighting with Christian, Islam, crusades, and this is all complete nonsense. What is this? Religion is all about training your mind by spiritual practices. And once mind is trained, then what happens? Then you can tame it. You can control it. Mind will do what you want. You will not do what mind wants. So mind will, now untrained mind is your enemy. It will lead you to attachments. Mind will push you to do those things which are absolutely unnecessary to your life. So mind will tell you, okay, let's see movies, let's see WhatsApp. Okay, once in a while, okay, but mind will say, I want daily. I want it. And it will lead to addictions, which is not absolutely required. It doesn't add any value to your life. It will lead to unnecessary obsessions, and then finally frustration. That's mind. Mind is an enemy. Mind will not allow you to do good things. Mind will make you gravitate towards bad things, towards evil, if you want to put it as. If you sit in a room alone and close your eyes and just leave your mind, after 10 minutes you will have good thoughts or bad thoughts? Mostly bad thoughts. Your mind will gravitate towards bad things. You'll start thinking. Automatically, mind will start roaming in the world of evil and ugly and bad. A mind is automatically attracted towards envy, lust, anger. It spontaneously comes in us now. It doesn't. If you sit alone, your mind doesn't spontaneously think, I should sacrifice myself. What's happening? So that's mind. So we have to train our mind. This is instructional manual for mind. If you want to control mind, 6th chapter is all about controlling mind. Go and read 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is telling you how to control mind. So there is instructional manual for mind. And then what about intelligence? What is manual for intelligence? And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, let's see, you can change from there. Okay. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, 1st and 2nd verse. Okay. And Krishna says, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetra Kshetragyam Eva Cha Etad Vedetum Ichhami Jnanam Vyam Cha Keshav. It's a beautiful verse. Krishna says, what to do with intelligence? Okay, what to do with intelligence now? Intelligence can question. Intelligence can put relevant questions. That's a function of intelligence. To decide. To decide, you need to question, no? Is it? So the point is, what question should we ask and what question we should not ask? That's the main question. Because you can keep on questioning everything and anything. And then you can spend your life answering one question and just die. That's all. It can happen like that. You can question why this light is light and just keep on thinking whole life and die. You can do that. Philosophers do that. So there are infinite questions because this word is infinite. There's no end to that. So no problem. You can ask questions. You can inquire. But the point is, what is priority? Which questions are priority and which questions can be delayed? So all questions can be summarized into 6 questions. There are just 6 questions which you should solve first in life. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this is said by Arjuna. And the questions are, what is the purpose of... We all ask these questions. They are not new. They are not new. We all ask these questions at one point or the other time of our life. Maybe when we are miserable, then we might ask, what is the meaning of our life? Maybe when we are in sorrow, puzzled, we ask these questions. But when we are happy, we forget them. So, what is the purpose of this creation? Okay, science can understand Big Bang and creation and astronomical galaxies and whatever. But why at all they are there, nobody knows. Science cannot answer this. Why this cosmos is there? Now this is a question for philosophy. Who am I? This is another question. In fact, science wanted to avoid this question, who am I, for a long time. This was not allowed in science to ask, who am I? Because people were quite busy in understanding mechanics and other things. But now, who am I? This question is again, scientists are coming face to face with this question because of advent of consciousness studies and quantum mechanics and other things. Physicists are asking this question, who am I? Because quantum mechanics brings consciousness right in the realm of physics. And you are face to face with this question, who am I? Neurologist, as neurology is advancing, previously we were just speculating what happens in mind, but now what happens in brain, but now we can see functional MRI, functional MRI and EEGs. You can exactly see when person is thinking which parts of brain are lightning and active and what's happening. So neurologists then are asking, well, we can see what's happening in the brain when a person is thinking, which part is active when he is seeing, when he is smelling, so we can understand brain, its parts, its function. But nevertheless, we cannot understand one thing, how this piece of meat and flesh can bring experience. How is it possible? How can dead molecules... A brain is nothing different than this table. Just little complex, that's all. That's physics says. It's molecules, that's molecules. This is protons, neutrons, that is again same thing. Arranged in a complex fashion. But how can something dead, which is molecules, can bring about consciousness or an experience which is living, which is a feature of life? Nobody can understand this. And to understand this, this question has again come up, who am I? Am I this brain? Or am I the experience which brain is experiencing? You understand? So neurologists are forced to ask this question, who am I? So now physicists, neurologists, psychologists and philosophers, they are working together. They have come together. For 100 years they were like working separately. Physicists were somewhere in this room. Philosophers were somewhere there in some other room. And a neurologist, they were doing something else, and now they're together. And in fact, this answer is here in Bhagavad Gita. Why I am suffering? This question is very important. Why am I suffering? Are we made to suffer? Well, Bhagavad Gita says no. You're not made to suffer. You're made to be happy. But without knowledge, we suffer. That's the idea. If you don't know, if you don't have the knowledge, you suffer. If you don't have GPS, you get lost. You get lost. You can just drive and you get lost. So it's up to you. If you keep a GPS, you don't get lost. That's all, finish. So Gita is like a GPS. It will guide you in life. If you don't have this book, you can keep on suffering. You can keep on finding solutions for your suffering. But the question is, why at all we are suffering? Are sufferings bound to come? Are they bound to come? Or is it a part of life, sufferings? Some people, the sufferings is a challenge, it's exciting, but that's another aspect of understanding. But if you keep on suffering, I think nobody will say it's exciting. If some people, their life is a mess, they keep on suffering. So, is there any way to stop these sufferings? That's the question. Why am I suffering? What's the reason? What is the meaning of life? How to become free of sufferings? And what is the aim of life? Who is God? These are relevant questions which we should be asking and trying to find solutions. If science cannot handle this question, doesn't mean that these questions do not exist. They exist, they are there. Many people have been pondering about these questions over the ages, and people will be pondering about these questions and trying to find solutions. And this is the purpose of life, to find the answers to this question and be happy. You ask any philosopher, what do you feel when you do philosophy? There's a universal answer. Most of the philosophers will say, we feel frustrated. Because they have questions, but they don't have answers. Scientists will never ask these questions, first of all. For them, these questions, forget them. Let's calculate. Shut up and calculate. That's the idea. Okay, fine. Forget about this. Calculate, see, analyze, and just forget it. And use those things to exploit, to use them to make technology. That's science. Philosophers ask these questions, but they don't have answers. They have some speculations, philosophies, debates, but Gita has these questions and answers for them. They have Gita's answers. So this is instructional manual for intelligence. You should be spending life answering these questions, spending your time answering these questions. Not spending time in McDonald's or loitering around here and there. It's a waste of time, that's all. And one philosopher said that people do not pass time, they kill time. You kill time. And time is the most precious thing you have, the most valuable thing you have. 1 second gone can never come back. No? Even if you pay millions of dollars, you can't buy 1 second. So which is more valuable, a second or $1 billion? A second. So that is why Krishna says intelligence should be used to ask questions and get relevant answers. So this is body, mind and intelligence. What is instructional manual for consciousness? What do we do with consciousness? By consciousness, here I mean experience. If you remember, I am experiencing you. You can also experience a blank thing. Is it possible? If you keep a blank screen like this wall, it's blank. So that's an experience. It's a blank. Just like in deep sleep, there's no dreams, but you're experiencing a state of consciousness where there's nothing, no thoughts, a particular part of deep sleep. So experience is not really to do with content. Experience is to do with what you face, the reality you face. So consciousness means experience. What should we experience and what should we not experience? That's the question. Are we to try everything in life? People say that, no? Try out and see for yourself. That's not a good idea. You can't try out everything. and keep on trying out everything and then just waste your time. You should know what to try and what not to try. That makes sense. So suppose if somebody says, how do you feel when you are sitting in a train? Train, a sewage? Well, try it out. So you just go ahead. That's the understanding of modern youths. Try it out. So people are doing bizarre things. And for example, that this is there, bungee jumping. Bungee jumping? That's coming in India. Okay, how do you feel when you fall down from a mountain? Okay, try it out. You're falling, okay. So how does it feel? Why do you want to try it out? Why? What's the point of that? Does it add any value to your life? It might add some fear and little excitement, that's all. It's a fearful experience, it's a fearful excitement, not a joyous excitement. There are different types of excitement. So, don't try out everything. And that was in fact hippie culture. How do you feel? What is the experience when you take drugs? Okay, try it out. You're not supposed to do that. Parents tell to children, okay, when children eat mud, parents say, no, don't eat, is it? Child wants to experience everything, but parents train them. Don't do this, don't do this. Sometimes you see, small children, they eat their stool. You have seen that? You see, the first time when child will pass stool and parents are not around, and it will just see, oh, what is this? And that's an experience. And wants to eat again. You have seen, you have got children. But some children, if you leave them around. So, but then next time child wants to experience that stool, parents will say, no, shh. Is it? Don't do that. Huh? Spider? Your child ate spider?
Yeah, when she was...
Come on. That's a crazy thing. So you stop them, no? You stop them from eating that spider. Or sometimes children want to put their finger in the electricity hole, and you stop them. No, don't put it. So you're not supposed to experience everything. That's a bad thing. Somebody has to tell us what to experience and what not to experience. Don't try out everything. You can keep on trying and keep on trying and trying and trying and waste your life, that's all. Sometimes you can try those things which can actually put you in difficulties. Okay, let's try out what do you feel when you steal. And people do that, young people, and they're excited and they'll steal and they end up in jail. So, and America, I heard, I think 4 months back I heard a case, I don't know where, I forgot, but there was a lady, a student, and she shot some, 10 people, 10 guys she shot, just random in the mall, and she was caught. And the police asked, why do you do that? She said, I want to experience. When you shoot people, then what kind of expression they have when they die. And she said that. Probably she was a psychopath, whatever. But if you want to experience everything, you can become a psychopath. And that's what is psychopath all about. And it's a maniac person, no? I want to experience how does it feel when you cut the throat of people. Then you catch people, torture. No, that's like that, no? So you should know what to experience, what not to experience. That is manual for consciousness. Gita tells you, okay, this you should experience, this you should never experience. Otherwise, you land up in problem. And the best thing to experience is God. If you want to experience, try to connect yourself with God and experience God. And that will be the best experience of your life. Even once if you come in contact with God and experience His presence, His qualities, you will become eternally satisfied. That's what Gita says. Now another question, you see now here, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. This Krishna says, 7th chapter, 1st verse. Okay, let me ask you one thing. Can you, science says you should move everything. should prove everything. Should have evidence for everything. And that's okay, fine. So I asked the other day also, can anybody prove that you exist? Krishna, this Gita raises this question, 13th chapter. Can you prove your existence? Anybody can prove his existence? Yes or no? What's your answer? Can you prove you exist? You can prove?
Maybe we should question what is existence.
No. I am asking, can you prove do you exist? It's a simple question, not maybe. I am asking a question. Can you prove do you exist? And it's not my question, it's a big question in philosophical circles. And there's a consequence for this. I'll tell you there is a consequence. Now the answer is, you can never prove that you exist. Because you might say, okay, what's the problem? I exist, you can see me. But no, I can, maybe you're artificial intelligence 5th generation. Who knows? Maybe you're Genesis or Terminator. How do I know that? So you can say, well, you can cut me and see there's blood. And so, but maybe science is so advanced that it can make with, not with silicon but with carbon, this body can simulate such a body and can program you, and you're there. Or maybe you're a zombie. You know zombies? Everybody knows zombies. So you cannot tell that whether there's a person inside that zombie. You behave as you are behaving, but inside there is no experience. He's dead from inside. There's no consciousness. That's all about zombies, all about. So that's a very big question in philosophy. You cannot prove your existence to me. The only way I can be convinced that you exist is just one way. If I enter your body, if I am there in your body, and I can experience what you experience. Otherwise, there's no way you can prove that you exist. Maybe it's matrix. Maybe, who knows? It's a matrix. In fact, I was telling just 4 days back, or maybe 15 days back, there's a paper released in Scientific Journal. I think it's American Scientist, I don't know which one, but in prestigious scientific circle, I think it's James Gleick or what's his name? He's a philosopher and nerd, famous nerd, or you can check in Google. And he has released a paper. He's a physicist and a philosopher, and he has shown by physics that we all live in a computer simulation. Physics is coming to this conclusion. So matrix is no longer a fiction. At least according to present day physics. We don't know what's going to happen, but string theory is coming to this conclusion. And you see, so you have a paper by Nerd, N-E-R-D. Type on Google and see that. And that paper is backed up by strong physics, string physics, and string theorists are saying that beneath the strings, there's quantum strings, and then there's another reality. Beneath the strings, there's a reality where you find exactly computer codes. You find computer codes 010101. James Gleick, he's a physicist. You can see about him, and he's proposing this, and it will have a big consequence, because if you have a code in reality, this immediately brings up the existence of an intelligence, isn't it? We have code, and people are worried about that it might bring an intelligence in physics, but nevertheless, so that's what Gita says. Now you cannot prove your existence, is it clear? So Gita says that if you cannot prove your existence, you will never be able to prove existence of God. If you say prove existence of God, you can't do that. You can't even prove your existence. Your soul, consciousness, God is super consciousness or super soul, soul of all souls. You cannot show me your experience. You cannot prove that you exist. How can you prove the existence of God? He's much beyond that soul. So that is why all scripture says you don't see God, You can't show me God, but you can experience for yourself. Just like you can experience yourself within your body, and you cannot show me your experience to me. Similarly, every person in this room can experience God for himself, but he will never be able to show God to me. That's not possible. So that is why it is called self-realization. It is not called other realization or projection realization. It's not like that. It is self-realization. It is your journey, and it is only your journey. That's all. So you have to realize God within yourself. And that is by practice of yoga. This practice of yoga means with the mind attached to me, with devotion, understanding what is devotion from Bhagavad Gita, what is love, and then practicing a particular spiritual training, and slowly you will understand who are you with the help of God. Now another point here to understand is many spiritualists, they will claim that fine, you come, do some meditation, and you will realize yourself. Okay, close your eyes, feel higher reality. So they will use these kind of words, divinity, and then don't move. If you move, then one instructor will be there, he'll just hit you on the head and you have to sit like that. Even if the fly comes and sits here, you're not supposed to move. Just tolerate, don't move. And slowly, if you don't move, then you will realize who are you. But that's not a right process, because human, we are very weak and we need help. Without help, we will not be able to realize ourselves. It's impossible. By our own efforts, it's almost impossible to understand we are not this body. It's impossible. So consciousness is separate from body, according to Gita. And consciousness means soul. We are soul, separate from body. That experience is separate from brain. And wherever there is experience, there has to be an experiencer who is experiencing that experience. And that is called soul or Atma, whatever you call that. And to understand that we are not this body is like a shirt. To get to that level of realization, which in fact many saints have practiced and they have achieved that realization, not only in Hinduism, not Christianity, Islam, Sufism, Kabbalah. There's so many people, thousands of years have practiced science of devotion. They realize they are not this body, and they have perfected their lives. So we can also do that. It will be simple. We can do that, but only with divine help. It's not possible. Alone we can't do. It's impossible. It is impossible to understand you are not this body, because we are so much engrossed in this body. You can't detach yourself from this. Is it possible? But every day it happens. That's a miracle. Every day you sleep and you get detached from your body. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says, behold the miracle which I do, which God does for you every night. He separates you from the body. You are sleeping for 6 hours and you don't know where you are. Is it? 6 hours you don't know where you are. You can't even close your eyes, and for 1 minute you cannot enter a state of deep sleep. You can't do that, no? You close your eyes and try to enter a state where you forget where you are sitting. You will not be able to do that. At least that thought will be there, I have to forget, and that's all. And you just keep your eyes shut and you can't do anything. After 1 minute you just say, where is Prasad, I'm going. Your mind will get frustrated. But in sleep it spontaneously happens. You're spontaneously decontacted from your body. 7 hours you don't know where you are, where is your bed, what is your name, where is your hand, you don't even understand. Sometimes when people get up in the morning, at least in India, not in America, they find mouse has bitten their big toe or something and it's bleeding. The experience in India this happens. America it doesn't happen. There are maybe no rats here. Maybe in New York, maybe in some ghettos, well, there might be some rats, but it happens. So you are sleeping, you even do not know somebody has bitten you, and there's blood. You're decontacted from your body. Everything is shut at that time. How? What's happening? Nobody understands this at the present state. Science has no clue why this happens. I'm not saying science doesn't understand this. Science doesn't have any clue why it happens. No clue. How to understand this, that also we do not understand. Nobody knows what to do with this. Sleep, which is so natural and so spontaneous. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. And science should understand it cannot solve every mystery. That's another thing. Some things will remain mystery. This is not my take. This is Macaulay Gins. He's a philosopher. He's like this one. So he says that he calls himself Mysterian. Mysterianism. He says some things will always remain mystery. Just like time. Time is a mystery. We use time in physics. There is x, y axis. The coordinate is time. What is time? It is there, but what is time? Nobody knows. There are speculations, but nobody knows. And can we understand? Maybe we cannot. But use it to calculate. That's the idea, no? So some things you cannot grasp by logic, by rationality. Some things are self-evident. Some things are intuitive. Just like, for example, love. Love you cannot grasp by logic. And as soon as you apply logic, love will vanish. It will vanish. Isn't it? So suppose you are kissing your girlfriend or whatever, and suddenly a thought comes in your mind. What molecules are there on my lips and her lips? You no longer can love. It's vanished, finished. So logic can nourish love, but it can also harm love. So everything is not scientific. This is a disease to think like that. It's not scientific. Just like I just told you, your own existence, your experience is not scientific. You cannot capture experience in rationality. It is there for you, subjective, guarded from outside. It is just for you. There's nothing rational in that. It is there. It is there. It is an axiomatic truth. So similarly, this consciousness and God, the axiomatic truth. And the purpose of life is to get relationship with Him, is to experience Him. Experience means relationship, and relationship means love, is to love Him. And that requires intuitive knowledge and not rational knowledge. And that is why there is a term in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit literatures, we talk about logic, which is called Anuman. Anuman. And there is Pratyaksh, you can see, and there is Shabda, you can hear. So this is epistemology, source of knowledge. But then there is another fourth source of knowledge, which is called a Swataha Praman. Swataha Praman means it is self-evident for you. So you love that girl? Yes, I love. Can you prove to me? How do you prove? I love her. You can see I'm presenting a rose. Well, you can present a rose, love also. It's not necessary by behavior you can understand what's the experience going on. No? Maybe you're trying to present a rose to show that you love her, but inside you think, I have to deceive him or her and get her money or his money, whatever. So that's your experience. Nobody can understand until unless you tell. But you can tell your experience, but I cannot experience what you experience. At the level of experience, no matter how much you tell, I never know what happens. Never know. You can tell I'm in pain, but how much pain you feel, I can never know. That's for you. Is it? You can shout, and doctors generally what they say, shut up. If a patient is shouting, at least in India, we do like that, doctor, and India we do like that. If a patient is, at least in government hospital, not in private, patient is shouting, we just go shut up. And if he is shouting a lot, we just slap him. We do in India, we do like that. It's a government hospital, it's like that. What to do with that? Because there are so many patients. There are patients throughout the day, and it is like that. It should not be like that, I know, but it's like that. But my point is not that it should be like that or not like that. Of course, it should not be like that. They are humans. But the point is that that the pain he's experiencing, I cannot experience that. It's impossible. So, like you know what? Like 2 months back, I had a pain in my neck. So stiff neck, stiff neck. I had that, and previously I never had this. And I saw many patients having stiff neck personally in OPD. And when they used to come, I used to tell them, what this is complete nonsense, So in stiff neck, you cannot move neck like that. So then we used to tell patients, move your neck. And he used to not, I cannot move. And we used to hold his neck and, come on, you are crazy. You cannot move. What? You tolerate pain. But then when I knew, what does it mean by stiff neck? You cannot, it's very painful. So you see what I mean? Experience is something not rational. It is your own. It is intuitive. Swataha Praman. Similarly, experience of God is intuitive. It is not rational. It is to be had by practice, not just by closing your eyes. You have to train your mind, train your intelligence, purify your consciousness, and then you can experience God. So train your mind and direct your intelligence to proper questions and purify your consciousness by following rules and regulations mentioned in this book, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says what you are supposed to do, what you are not supposed to do. Practice like this sincerely. Whatever you are doing in life, you can continue, but add this knowledge. And slowly and gradually, by this practice, your consciousness becomes purified. You start experiencing God in your soul. And as soon as you experience Him, you experience yourself. Because He is like sun. And wherever there is sun, there is light. So as soon as you experience God, you experience yourself separate from body. Immediately. You can see everything. In His presence, you can see reality as it is. Now you cannot see. Now we can close our eyes and we cannot see who am I. I am soul, I am body. Because we are confused, we cannot detach ourselves from body. We cannot leave our bodies and go anywhere we like. We are stuck up in this body. We are trapped in these bodies. And then when you start experiencing Him, then you slowly get attached to Him and you start loving Him, you develop love for Him. That's the aim of life. Simple. And we have to love somebody. Somebody or the other we have to love. Either you love your friends, your parents, maybe your table, maybe your Apple iPhone, maybe yourself. If you don't love anybody, at least you will love yourself, is it? Everybody loves himself. Everybody loves himself. You can't stop loving yourself. And that is where, when you see yourself in mirror, you will find yourself very beautiful, is it? Nobody gets up in the morning, sees me in the mirror, oh my God, this ugly person again. Oof. You don't say like that. And you see yourself in mirror, yes, I am Miss Universe. Or maybe boys are thinking I am Mr. Universe. And you will not be able to see defects in yourself. Am I right? You will not be able to see defect in yourself. Because you love yourself. Wherever there is love, love hides defects. You will not be able to see defects. The other person we can see. So you might do good makeup and good hairstyle, and you might see in mirror 2 hours, so I am looking so nice and whatever. And then you go out to your friends and your friends are thinking, my God, what happened here? So ugly, what's happening? And you think, what's the problem? Everybody is, what's happening around me? You can't understand. Because we are in love with ourselves, with our bodies. We have fallen in love with our bodies. We have fallen in love with a thing which is anyway going to get destroyed. This temporary body. We have fallen in love with a body which will actually cheat us one day. It's going to cheat you. It's going to become ugly anyway. You're going to become old and die. So we have fallen in love with wrong thing. So we have to fall in love with our original self. And original self is God. Self of self is God. Super self. That's what Krishna is saying. With the mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from all doubts. Free from all doubt means you have a direct experience of God. Not just thoughtful understanding, not just rational understanding. It's much beyond that. You have face to face. Pratyakshavagamam dharmayam. Gita says 9th chapter. This is instructional manual for consciousness. And then this is human life, no? Body, mind, intelligence and consciousness. This is human life. But then human life also consists of society. We are not living separate in mountains. So you should also know how to deal with society. So Gita is giving a manual to lead your life in a perfect possible way, to understand God. So, instructional manual for society. What is instructional manual for society? Chapter 16 gives instructions how to deal, how to live in society. There is how to have personal conduct. What are social and civil norms? What is penalties? Everything is told in Gita. How should you behave with others? You have to learn. You don't know when you're born how to behave with others. So to learn that, and how to speak, how to walk, how to sit, everything has to be learned. Everything has to be trained. This is instructional manual for society. Now, can you change?
Yeah.
It's not changing. And then there is, and then in human life we also have religion. Religion is a part of a culture. So what is true religion you should know. And Krishna says, 8th chapter 33rd verse, Swabhav adhyatma uchyate. True religion is which changes your nature and establishes you in true nature. Religion is nothing to do with sectarianism of fighting. You are this, I am this, I am Christian, I am Muslim, I am. This is all superficial understanding. Anywhere, whatever helps you to change your nature and establish you in your original nature, that is true religion. That means anything which helps you to understand your soul separate from body and you're connected with God, gives you an experience, direct experience of God, a super self, that is true religion. Those set of instructions are true religion. And then you have instructional manual for last, very important, money. Money is life, everybody says. So, what to do with money? Is there a manual for money? How much to earn, how much not to earn? How to spend, how not to spend? There has to be a manual. You can't just have money and do whatever you want. That's not the idea. So, Gita tells you what to do with money, how to earn money. 4th chapter, 21st verse. Krishna says, such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled. First thing to do with money is, don't be controlled by money. Either money controls you or you control money. That Prabhupada says that. We were talking yesterday. So, mostly we are controlled by money. Or, in other words, we are controlled by desire for money. That's the impetus for all actions, is it? Our whole life is based on desire to earn money. You get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, you want more savings, you want to pay your debts, and your actions are guided with keeping the money in goal. Krishna says, don't do that. You don't come under control of desire to earn money. Rather, you should control money. Now, how to do that? Krishna says, how to do that? Give up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions. Krishna says that if you want to do that, it's simple. Don't use money for your selfish purpose. Don't possess money for yourself. That's bad, only for yourself. We need money for leading our lives, but that's not entire life. You should possess money for good cause. That's a good thing. You should possess money to help you lead a life in such a way so that you can understand God and pursue a spiritual life. Maybe you can help others. And then you will not be under control of money. You will not be guided. Your actions will not be guided just by money. Your actions will be guided by good cause. You are earning money for something else. You are not earning money for money's sake, and not for yourself. Because if you earn money for yourself, there is no end for that. There is no end for that. And that's what Gita says, that the hunger of man never dies. Never dies. You can earn. The more you earn, the more hungry you become. The more hungry you become. That is money. With food it doesn't happen like that, but with money it happens like that. You become more hungry. You keep on earning. So you are under control of money, that's all. And the third thing is how much you should earn. You should earn only for bare necessities of life. Only earn that much which is absolutely required. You don't need to earn much. You don't need to have luxuries. Why do you want luxuries? You don't need to fall in peer pressure that he has a car, I will have a car. He has a Samsung 7, I will have Samsung 8. There is Samsung 8. So that's how we work. But Krishna says, no, that's wrong. Then you get them entangled in money. You should earn money so that you can be healthy in body and sound in mind. That much is required. That's all finished. Why do you want to see others? So bare necessities of life: food, shelter, and clothing. If you have that, okay, fine. Some education, and that's it. That's fine enough. So this is instructional manual for money. 3 things. Don't earn more than what is required. No need to do that. Don't spend money more than what is required. And don't be guided by money. Rather guide money properly in good cause, in the service of God, in the service to use it to advance spiritually. And that's a good use of money. Otherwise you become slaves of money. You become slaves. Most of us are slaves of money. That's what Gita says. We are slaves of money. We are not. This country is country of liberty. But it's no longer. It's not like that. It's an illusion. We are slaves of money. We are slaves of television. We are slaves of mind. If you think about that, we have all become slaves. We are not liberated. And that's what scripture says. Liberation means being liberated from mind. Control of mind, control of money, control of people around us, peer pressure, artificial ideas, control of artificial ideas which we have made in our mind, control of attachments. That's instruction manual for money, and this is pretty much human life, and that is Bhagavad Gita all about. An instruction for human life. Unlike science, which is a manual for matter, Gita is manual for life. And if you don't have this, you will never know what to do with life. You can have a life, but you don't know what to do with life.